A few days ago, data from the September jobs report finally came out. Do I trust the data that this administration is releasing on the state of unemployment and the economy? No. But what I will say is, looking at the data, there is absolutely no way for them to paint a picture that Black women are not being systematically targeted at unprecedented rates. So let's just look at the numbers. Okay, so let's just actually start with the basics. In September 2024, unemployment for Black women was around 5.1%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. 1 year later, in September 2025, it is now being reported that unemployment for Black women is 7.5%. That is not a normal increase at all. And if we are actually breaking down the increase over the last year, that is a 47% rise. That's huge. Let's break it down a little bit more. The unemployment gap between Black women and white women went from 2% difference in 2024 to a 4.1% difference in 2025. Double. This is what a racialized economy looks like. Convert all of this data into some raw numbers. In September 2024, there were over 500,000 Black women that were reporting being unemployed. In September 2025, it is over 830,000. That is nearly 250,000 Black women who have become unemployed over the last year. And folks might be saying, that's given the population of the United States, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal because the scale of distortion. So let's get into that too. Black people in this country are around 13 to 14% of the population, right? So looking at the numbers in the United States, there are about 11 million Black women that are in the labor force. In comparison, the labor force for white women is sitting right around 57 million people. So let's take our unemployment, the Black women's unemployment rate at 7.5%, and apply it to white women. When we look at that, if the rates were the same, if 7.5% of white women in this country were unemployed, that would equate to 4.27 million people. This last week, Fortune magazine put out their own estimates of what they think Black women's unemployment is, and they think it's around 10%. So that would mean that in reality, there are 1.1 million Black women that are unemployed right now. Again, let's compare it to white women. That percentage would equal around 5.7 million white women who would be unemployed. Again, the country would shut down. It would absolutely shut down. People would be calling for legislation. It would be a national crisis. Congress would actually do something about it. Bringing this all together, what does this mean? A 47% spike in unemployment for Black women. Hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of Black women are out of work. The racial unemployment gap has doubled. People think that unemployment for Black women is around 10%. The labor force for us is shrinking. You are not being an alarmist. You are not crazy. We are being systematically and systemically attacked and being pushed out of the labor force. And nobody is talking about it because it's Black women.